Today I wanted to talk to you about a planning process that I have found tremendously helpful. In fact, in front of me I have this planning process was done for me back in 1997. I have subsequently redone this process 3 or 4 times and found it incredibly practical, fun, visionary, and really helpful when you've got a transition in your life or you're really feeling you need a jump start to some new phase of your life. I also do this with organizations, groups of 30, probably more would be a little impractical. What we have here is a large version of what's called the P.A.T.H. So this is Planning Alternative Tomorrows with Hope, and it was developed by 2 Canadians, Jack Pierpont, John O'Brien, and actually 3, Marcia Forrest. And there's a whole book on it, which I don't know even if it's in print anymore. The key thing is to have this process done for you is fantastic, and once you have it done for you, you can facilitate anyone else's path or any other group's path. So that's the first thing, get your own path done so you know the process. Let me just walk you through it. So over here we have what we call the North Star Vision, and no, I didn't build my company name based on that, but they actually call it the North Star Vision, and someone did my vision for me, and there was lots of stuff about outdoors and working in different countries and the world spirituality and sacred sites with my family. And then the next step, so that's called the North Star Vision. The second step is called Positive and Possible Goals. And if you read one of my blogs, you'll note that they really use goals as objectives, but we won't get into that right now. But basically, in arrows, you make out things that you're going to do to get you closer to your longer term vision. And usually these are about a year long or a year and a half. Then you move right over to the far left side of your chart and you start mapping out what's happening in the life of the organization now or your own life. Who do you need to enroll to help you achieve this vision and these positive and possible goals? And what do you need to strengthen? What is some training you need or things you need to do for yourself or help you need? Then your last few steps are what happens in the next 3 to 4 months. And sometimes you just, again, you're trying to get a little more succinct and tactical for what happens to get here. What are the specific things that need to happen there? And then in my case, they only got as first step, but often you do the first month and the first step. And that includes finding someone who can maybe call you or make sure that you actually carry your plan out. Finally, you usually give a title. Mine was Barb McKay's Path to Inner Peace and Fulfillment. And then people sign it, and it's really fun. Great, so now I'd like to show you how you might do this on just a flip chart size piece of paper, because you saw the finished product here, and now I'd like to show you how you would actually start it. So come on over here to my piece of flip chart paper, and I've divided my flip chart piece of paper in half, and that's where the center of your arrow goes. So I draw a very, very wide arrow and a very broad box, and that's where I'm going to fit in, and I'm going to do my positive and possible goals in here, more or less a circle, and then the North Star Vision up here. So remember, the first step was North Star Vision. Come over to do your positive and possible goals. They might be in different colors, and you fill out. You can add color afterwards. You can add chalk. It's really fun to do one of these. It takes about 3 or 4 hours depending on the person. You come way over here after you've done those first 2 steps and you do your now. And you just list all the positive and negatives of the current situation. And then you do your enroll. Who do you need to enroll to get you closer? What do you need to strengthen? And then finally you come back over here and do your positive and possible goals. But in 3 or 4 months' time, we'll have done these things towards these positive and possible goals. Aim for about 5 or 6 in here, and maybe 4 or 5 in here, and then finally it's like your first month and your first step. Great, so I'm Barbara McKay from North Star Facilitators, and we want to make sure that you have the chance to have your own path done, since that is a prerequisite to doing anyone else's path. We're going to offer you the opportunity to sign up for virtual sessions in group or individually. And you'll end up with a path. We can mail it to you or take a photograph and send it to you electronically. It's a great deal of fun, and it'll get you off to a great start to any new year or any transition in your life. Thanks, and hope you have a very fulfilling year.